All right, now we need to get to the what you say, and I wrote in the blog, is called the Instant Peach Compote Incident. What is that all about, Bob?
Tell
Yeah,
us,
it's
Dr. Bob.
I tend to learn from my mistakes, and I make a lot of them. And one of them was about 20 years ago. We lived in Washington D.C. for 30 years until 10 years ago when we moved here. And to say hot summer day is redundant in Washington. It's a hot summer day from like May to November. And I went to a farmer's market. I frequented the DuPont Circle Farmer's Market in D.C. And it was a very hot day. I didn't go early, so the stuff had been sitting outside in the sun for quite a while. So if it showed up ripe, it was like super ripe. Um, I got a bag full of beautiful peaches, plastic, plastic bag. Got to my car, which had turned into an oven, as cars do when they're sitting outside in summer heat. So I put the peaches in the backseat of the car. I blasted the air conditioning. I drove home 4 miles. Probably took me about 15 minutes. Reached into the backseat and had a bag full of cooked peaches. They had absolutely completely broken down. They were in a hot puddle. They were absolutely useless. I suppose I could have figured out why I would pour them into a bag and made a smoothie, but it
Put
didn't
it on
seem
ice
like
cream.
a lot of trouble. So that's when I learned a few literally hot tips for shopping at the farmers market during a heat wave. And first, the best thing is to go early. The farmers markets all have tents these days. They keep the product as much shaded as they possibly can, but heat is never,
Mhm.
high heat is never a good friend to fresh vegetables and produce. So go early. You'll get the best pick of everything that's out there anyway. It's a good rule at any time. Bring an insulated bag, or if you have gotten any delivery from Whole Foods, and you order some meat or other perishables, they put them in those silvery insulated bags. Bring that. That'll enable the product to stay cool inside the bag. If you're planning on taking a long walk home or a long bike ride home, or like I did, put the stuff in a really hot car. Also bring cold packs. Yeah, almost everybody has them in their freezer, and that will enable you to really be ensured that things stay cold. If you bring an insulated bag and the cold packs, you get an A plus, and you're absolutely guaranteed of bringing. But there's another idea here. If you're an omnivore, and most of us are, even though we're all eating more plant-based diets, so most people still eat some sort of meat. And in Chicago, Cook County, and most jurisdictions in this region, farmers market meat vendors have to sell their product frozen for safety reasons. So buy yourself a nice roast, stick that in with the produce, and it's going to stay cold. So, and you also have something nice to put on your pressure points. So if you get too hot,
Th-
you can cool off that way.
these are great tips, and one of the things I'm going to do is because Sitka Salmon Shares was a sponsor on the Mike Novak show with Peggy Malecki. They bring their product in these wonderful insulated bags,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and during the pandemic they weren't taking them back, and I need to get them back to them. I'm not going to hold on to them forever, but they you put a couple of those ice packs in there in an insulated bag, and
Mhm.
boy, it just keeps things really cool for a long time. So, and it's just a little bit of planning. Don't just dash off, especially if it's 1
Yeah.
p.m. That's probably not the
Mhm.
best time to run out of the house without
And
some.
don't put your fresh lettuce right next to the ice pack in the bag.
No, that is also true. And another little tip. And if you look at yesterday's newsletter, you'll see a photo that I took of the frozen roast, the cheese and the strawberries.
Oh yeah, the little
Um,
bowl.
yeah, if you're buying delicate fruit or other items that can be damaged, bruised on the way home, bring a
Mhm.
container with you. They'll if they just throw it in a plastic bag, or even put it in those little paper containers in a plastic bag, they spill. If you're not careful, then set something on top of them, you'll wind up with a lot of ruined product by the time you get home. Just bring a bowl or a deli container, and pour your purchases in there. And again, you're guaranteed of coming home with exactly what you expect when you buy it at the market.